Hello there, and thanks for tuning in to another Classic Golf Clubs video. This is a follow-up to the Golf Time Capsule video that I made previously, and in this one I'm going to play one of those sets of clubs, and it's going to be the Jean Donald Ladies set, which should be interesting. Before I proceed to the course though, a mystery that I've realised now what it is. This buckle that I highlighted on both of the bags in the Time Capsule video, and it's quite obvious really what it is. If I just flip the travel hood down, we can see on there there's a leather tab with a hole in it, and that will fix slotted through the buckle, and that will keep the hood in place, stop it flopping around as the bag is carried. Before I potentially embarrass myself playing with the Jean Donald clubs and ladies shaft flexes, let's pause and have a look at the career of Jean Donald. Jean Donald was one of Britain's top female golfers of the immediate post-war years and into the late 1950s. Born on the 2nd of May 1921 in North Berwick, East Lothian, Scotland, she joined the North Berwick Ladies Golf Club in 1936 and was given a handicap of 21. By the following year, she was already winning competitions. Her golfing progress was brought to a temporary halt with the outbreak of the Second World War, during which she was based at RAF Winthorpe, just north of Newark in Nottinghamshire. With the return of peace, Jean's glittering amateur career really took off. She was Scottish Ladies Amateur Champion 3 times, in 1947, 1949 and 1952, and represented Scotland in every home international between 1947 and 1953, and was on the winning side 4 times. In 1948 she reached the final of the British Ladies Amateur Championship, where she lost the 36-hole final by just 1 hole to the American Louise Suggs. Also in 1948, Jean Donald caused controversy when she appeared wearing trousers in the Scottish Amateur Championship. Clearly, Gloria Minoprio's trailblazing in the 1930s had not yet broken down the traditional dress code for lady golfers. To find out more about the fascinating Gloria Minoprio, please see the link in the video description below. Jean Donald played in the Curtis Cup in 1948, 1950 and 1952. 1952 was the first win for the Great Britain and Ireland team. In 1954, new rules governing amateur status were introduced, and at the time Jean was employed by Dunlop, and the new rules meant that she would no longer be able to work there and remain an amateur. She decided to turn professional at the beginning of 1954, which meant that competitive golf became very limited for her, as there was no ladies' professional circuit in Britain at that time. In January 1955, she joined Slazenger as a member of the advisory board. Slazenger sponsored her 3-month trip to New Zealand and Australia, where she played several exhibition matches. Jean played Slazenger clubs throughout the rest of her professional career, and her signature clubs sold very well to the public, as did her gloves. As already said, opportunities for competition were very limited, but Jean still had success, winning the Spalding Women's Open Stroke Play Tournament at Walton Heath in 1954, twice winning the Sunningdale Foursomes, partnering Peter Allis, to add to her 2 victories as an amateur in this event, when she was partnered by Tom Halliburton. Jean twice won the Kaiser Bonder Foursomes, partnered by Jessie Valentine in 1959 and by Bridget Jackson in 1962. Here we have a picture of Jean's swing from Enid Wilson's 1961 book, A Gallery of Women Golfers. It's made up from a composite of different swings, but shows her full turn on the backswing. Much of Jean's professional career was spent in teaching up-and-coming amateurs and professionals of the time, and she was very much in demand for her experience and wisdom. Jean married John Anderson in 1958, but sadly died in 1984 at the relatively young age of 63. Before I attempt to play the Jean Donald clubs, let's take a look at the range of irons produced by Slazenger bearing the Jean Donald name. We begin with this advert from 1956, very soon after Jean joined Slazenger, and it shows the personal model. We can see that it's identical in style to the Bobby Lott personal. These 2 professionals seem to have been Slazenger's preferred names for clubs targeted at the average golfer, and across the years the heads bearing their names are often identical in all but the back design. Here we have another early model, probably of the same date, probably just down from the personal model just described. Then we have the JMD as featured in this video, and I'm pleased to say that I now have a positive date for this model of 1959, as seen here in this advert from Svensk Golf, alongside the twin Bobby Lock ADL model. Next, the Jean Donald Star. This one is the same as the Gary Player Claret Jug featured previously in another video on this channel, so on that basis I date it to 1962 or 63. Here the Jean Donald Signature, identical to the 1966 Bobby Lock 4-star featured previously. Then the Championship model, which appeared in the Slazenger catalogue for 1967. The Slazenger Plus Jean Donald, identical to the Jack Nicklaus version, and interestingly this is a left-hand club. Clubs for left-handed ladies must have been very few and far between. This wingback style Jean Donald iron has the Slazenger Panther logo. It's identical to the Jack Nicklaus $1 million model of 1971, right down to the ferrule design. Next the S logo, which has a 1970s feel to it. And to finish, this model with the stainless steel ferrule. I'm unsure of a date for this one. Well, that brings us to the end of this look at the playing career and clubs of Jean Donald. Now we've got to get to the course and see how I get on playing a ladies set of golf clubs. Right, I'm going to play a 9-hole bogey match against the course. The rules are shown above. My course handicap is 14, so I'll have shots on 7 of those holes. I've measured the lofts of the clubs now, and these are shown above, and the shaft lengths are about a ½ inch shorter than a typical men's set, so I'm not sure how that will impact on the distances. Probably a half or a club shorter than normal. Here we go then. I didn't film my shot from the first tee as it was quite busy and I was just looking to get away as quickly as I could. I took a 2.5 wood though, hit it okay, about 170 yards, and that left me here. As you can hear, the wind is very strong again, so I'm going to turn the sound down as much as I can. I hit 5-iron, which would have been ambitious. Even with my main set I was 175 yards out, and it got me short right of the green where I played a wedge. Decent go for me, got it on the green, and left myself this putt. 2 putts should get me the half, but I judged that one perfectly. In for a par, net birdie, and I'm 1 up already. Next hole, I've got the 7-iron, and as I was over it I was thinking not quite enough club here, and I just ended up hitting a massive fat, one of several I hit in the round. Left me another wedge shot, not quite as nice as the last one, but I've got it on the green. So target again is 2 putts. I'm not holding out any hope of holding this one like I did on the last green. Had a pretty good try though, but that's an easy tap in for a bogey net par, and I remain 1 up. On to the next. I've got the 1.5 wood. Bit cut across it and it drifted out to the right but into the wind of it, and came up short of the bunker. From there I hit my 3.5 wood, really caught this well, and it went 204 yards. Left me 120 yards. I took 8-iron, allowing for the shorter shaft length, and got this onto the front of the green. It's not very often I play this hole well, as regular viewers will know too well. My putt drifted off a bit too far to the left, left me a little uncomfortable one to save par, but I took my time and made no mistake, so I remain 1 up. 1.5 wood again, and again I've cut right across it and hit a massive slice. I only went about 150 yards and it stuck me in the rough here. I took 5-iron, just digging it out, and I got it 135 yards down the hole, which left me 125 to go. So again I took 8-iron. There's a back flag though, and I tried to knock it down a bit, keep it under the wind, and just dragged it here.
Well, there's my ball. There's the flag. So my nearest point of relief is in there somewhere. So I think I'm going to go up to the top, take a drop. I won't take my camera, so you're going to have to trust me.
Good job I didn't take my camera. I played an awful bladed chip that somehow bobbled across the rough and onto the green. I've already lost the hole though, so it doesn't really matter. And that was my 6th shot, including the penalty drop. Now this for a 7. And there we are, back to all square. Onto the 5th hole, shot hole, 2.5 wood. I was hoping for a draw here, but it didn't happen, and I went out to what's not quite a penalty area. It's a compulsory drop in this drop zone here, but there isn't a penalty stroke. So I'm playing my 2nd shot from a long way back. Now playing my 3rd shot, and this with a 9 iron. So no, it's not an 8 iron, the 8 iron again. I got it onto the green. And would you know it, I hold the putt for a par. So back to 1 up. 6th hole, I didn't film my tee shot, should be a good birdie chance, but I took 5 iron into the wind and dragged it into this horrible lie back left of the green. I could barely see the ball, so I knew I needed to hit this hard, but you'll see the definition of a quit here. Just didn't follow through on that. I should have carried on with the club in my hand, the pitching wedge, but for some reason I decided a 9 iron would be better. And then once I'd got that 9 iron, I realised that I should have the pitching wedge, and I was a little bit afraid of hitting it too far past the hole. So we'll see quit number 2. Awful. I've got the right club now, so I'm carrying on with the 9 iron, and I pop it onto the green. Still not gimme distance. Now this one for a 5. And there we go. The hole I gained on the last one, I've thrown away on this one. On to the next hole, 2.5 wood. Unfortunately, Shot Tracer didn't pick this one up because it's one of the best tee shots I hit. I think it went 221 yards. And it left me 123. I hit 8 iron, another huge, fat, terrible shot. It would have been more at home on Earth Movers Weekly. Now left me 80 yards, and I hit pitching wedge. Ungainly swing, but I got it on the green. I'm putting for par, which would give me the hole. Yeah, not too bad. I should be able to tap that one in. And there we go. Oh, net bogey. 8th hole, I've got the 1.5 wood again, and it seems to be my swing pattern today. Another big slice. I don't think it's anything to do with the shafts, just the way I was hitting it. From the rough, I hit a very good 5 iron. Back to the fairway, left me 130 yards to the middle. It was a front flag. I took the 8 iron again and just got it onto the green. Putting for birdie, no shot here, so this is to win the hole. Not the most committed of putts. It's again a simple tap in, par, and the match remains all square. So that brings me to the last hole with a chance to do Gene Donald proud by parring it and winning the match. Playing into the wind, and the shot was a poor one, only about 150 yards, left me over 200 out, and I tried to keep a low 2.5 wood under the wind, but I just topped it awfully. And that brought me here, about 130 yards to the middle. Front flag, I tried to knock down an 8 iron, did a reasonably good job, just got it onto the front of the green. So here I am, opportunity to par the hole and win the match. So a while since we've had the exciting finale music, let's let it roll. Would you believe it? I've only gone and scuffed the ground with my putter, and now a knee knocker for the half. Thank goodness it went in. To have ended up losing the hole would have been an absolute disaster. So, what have I learnt from playing a set of vintage ladies clubs? Well, my score is pretty identical to that I achieved when playing a vintage men's set, so that backs up my theory that for average build club golfers, club fitting is a bit of a waste of time. We just adapt to whatever is in our bags. My iron play was typical, a few fats, but I think that might have been because I was aware that the clubs were shorter than usual and was concentrating on staying down on the shot, a bit too much in some cases. I really like the putter. I prefer putters of around 34 inches, so this was perfect. Most older putters tend to be around 35 inches long. The woods felt the same as any others, and I'm sure that the tendency to slice them was down to the swing I had on the day, where I was cutting across the ball way too much. A quick look at the stats. The 9-hole bogey match against the course finished all square, and I finished one over my handicap, not helped by the triple bogey on the 4th. There we are then, an enjoyable experiment. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you next time for another Classic Golf Clubs video. Bye!